So the idea for tonight is that at first we were just thinking all the pieces we love. We did romantic music last semester, and there were so many tragic pieces, and everyone wanted to do more of that. And then someone said, well, what about the funny pieces? Maybe we should mix it in. So we called it tragic comedy. And so I'm hoping that in the best case scenario tonight, you'll be like ugly crying at the most beautiful sad piece. And then that will be interrupted by a piece that will really make you laugh. So, and there might be some costumes involved, just a warning. Okay, so I'm going to start the program off tonight with a composer that you have probably never heard of, Carl Filtsch. Anybody? And he was born in 1830. He was born in Transylvania, and he studied piano with his father, and it became very evident right away that he was a real, true child prodigy, and on the level of Mozart. And by the age of 6, he did a concert tour in Transylvania, and everyone that heard him was just blown away at age 6, and they said he needs to go to Vienna, which was the big center of music. So at age 8, he went to Vienna and studied with Clara Schumann's father, who was one of the most famous teachers then, Friedrich Wieck. And then by the time he was 11, he ended up going to Paris to study with Chopin, who was his real true love of his music. And meanwhile, he was composing all along. And he studied with Chopin for just 3 years. And in the summers, Chopin would hand him off to Liszt to work with when Chopin was gone. So here's some quotes. Chopin said, "My God, what a child! Nobody has ever understood me or my music as this child has." He was about 11 or 12 then. And he was just very unusual. And you'll hear his music is a lot like Chopin, because he was quite young and imitating him. And then Liszt said, after working with him, when this little one begins to tour, I will have to close up shop. So why don't we know the name Carl Filtsch? Well, he was backstage about to walk out to play a piano concerto that he'd written, his own concerto for orchestra, and he had an acute attack of peritonitis, which we don't really know for sure, but we're figuring was probably a ruptured appendix. And he was only 14 years old, and he never made it on stage that night, and he died just soon after. And it was, we'll never know what he would have become or his music. But he wrote about 22 pieces. So this is his Opus 3, number 3, Mazurka.